I hear that. I hear. Then you bring your voice down. I hear you. I hear you.
And then you spend a long time just making faces like, what is it?
But only one side of the mouth.
I can't do this
until you just get that resolution of being like, I mean, if it works for you, I just, okay. Oh, look. Okay, I'm ready.
I cannot believe that you did this.
Is my mic on?
I hear you.
Okay.
You don't hear you?
I can, but spell sounds better now. Sounds better.
With you, and like you're trying to.
I hear that.
Okay.
See,
no, it's the okay. You don't agree with the okay.
See, right. But here's where it gets tricky.
Here's where it gets tricky. I hear you.
I can't work out.
That's the other one. Once you brought the voice.
Why are human beings so dramatic?
Forgive us, y'all.
Can you imagine just like that being in the animal kingdom? Just, lions be like, I'm not going over there. You know what I'm saying? Give me something or not. Imagine a bear just be like,
why are we doing this right now?
Let me work out my bear options.
What? What would a rooster do? A dog would be like, why are we doing this? Why?
You're the one who said, what would they do?
I can't. I'm done.
Oh.
Who are you? This is how this whole thing started.
Oh, that's how it started.
This is how it started. But are you?
I guess I'm Barack Obama.
Okay. We're gonna stay safe.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And I am Oprah Winfrey.
These are some high achieving people here.
High achievers.
From whence they came. True grit.
And we are Add Joy.
Where life plus joy equals satisfaction.
We are in our season. I'll never go on.
Okay. Okay, we're stopping. We're about to get serious about this joy now.
If you don't stop, if you say one more word, if you...
I have to say one more word.
We're literally on a podcast. We are in our season of pride and gratification.
Pride and gratification means a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own accomplishments and successes.
Yes. So we are talking about the things that make you feel grown and proud.
Grown and proud.
This is my thing right here. This is my read a life-changing book. I am a voracious reader. So every day I have to read 100 pages of whatever it is that I'm reading. I'm a bit obsessed by it to the point that my friends are like, is she okay?
Yeah, she'd be reading, honey.
I'd be reading. But these are my favorite. Like those self-improvement books. I really like the ones that you don't even realize they're self-improvement books. They're so witty. They're so, but they get to the heart of what it is you're trying to change. I will post some of my favorites.
Yeah. I think people would
Yeah.
like to hear, because you are a voracious reader, because you've read a lot,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's your
I
recommendations.
will absolutely
would be
post some of my
meaningful.
favorites. Yeah.
She's brand new to Clark Atlanta, freshman psychology major, came up to me yesterday and said, what are some books that you're reading?
That is
She said, are there just, any books? And then she brought it home. She was like, I would love them to be by Black women, but just anything that you just feel like you're just kind of
that is the first question
growing.
I'm going to ask every person I ever meet from here on out.
She said, what are you reading? And she said, is there something, I'm interested in reading about Black women. And then she said, oh, besides yours.
Was she flirting with you?
Right.
I hope not, because
Come through, sis.
she
No,
knew
she was
just
like,
what
no,
to
I'm trying to
say.
get this. I'm trying to get an internship. No, she was like, she knows, she knows what to do. She was delightful. I mean, she clearly reads, and she was
These are the things.
you know what I mean? And I'll never forget her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You'll never forget
she won't take
her.
me her freshman year. They take the regular course stuff. When she gets to my
What
class,
is the
I'll know
thing?
exactly
what
who
is
she
the thing that people will never forget you for?
Me? Laughing. Yeah. People say that, and they don't mean it really. They'll be like that. You have a
Aw,
big smile.
that's
They're
sweet.
like, you bring, kind of a levity and a humor to a room, no matter what's happening. So people do gotta remember that about me.
I'm gonna explore that a little bit. I don't know what people would remember me for. That's gonna ask the questions and see. That's an interesting one. Okay.
You are never forgotten. It's something.
It's something.
Everybody remembers exactly who you are. They may not spell your name right, but they know who you are.
Oh, Marty, the dark skinned one with long hair.
Yeah, that one. That's the one.
Me.
That's the one right there. Start recycling and upcycling. I tried to, I told Zuri that she was in charge of recycling, at her house.
Can
it's her
Zuri be in
doing.
charge of recycling in my house? 'Cause I got all these water bottles for all
Yes.
these plants, and I just ain't doing nothing with
Right. But it does, yes, and when you do recycle like that,
You feel better.
You do, and you feel proud, of yourself. It is a gratifying experience. Go ahead and buy yourself the bin, you know what I'm saying? I had
Yeah.
it built in my little, custom cabinets. You just pull out that recycler,
That's what I
and
need.
then you can recycle or upcycle your old items. That's nice.
I would shame my fellow Californians in the way that I don't do this.
yeah,
I
'cause
am
y'all do.
going to
Well, here they don't press it as much.
They
You
don't.
must
They
recycle in the middle. You don't have an option in other parts of the country.
listen, in
You
California,
will
someone
recycle.
would look at you like,
What are you doing with them plastic? That's not where you put that. I honestly, I'm gonna think it's just a few states that are not pressing that recycling.
we need to be better about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that on my list of things to do. Yeah, I like that. And then finally, let me tell you about this one. Tackle a DIY project.
It feels so good.
It really is hard to beat the feeling up. One day, my garage, one side had come off the whatever. You know how the wheels, and how it rolls up or whatever. And I just kept looking at it, and I was like, I feel like I could push that in. I want you, no lie, I had on an onion dress.
Only you would tackle a DIY project.
I went and
in
got a
dress.
stool, and I sat there and I jiggled what I need to, and I felt so much better that I didn't have to call somebody to pay them $99 just to come and do what I had just done. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I
I'm gonna do that
bought
this weekend.
That's why I bought those pink tools, because I said all these little things that I need to tweak around the house. I'm not calling nobody to do that.
Especially when they come out and charge you like $400 to just like do one little thing, Yeah, it's nice when you just kind of do it yourself. Moving right along. something is wrong with you.
It's going to defeat the whole purpose if you laugh all over again.
Well, how am I going to stop myself?
Okay.
Today we're talking about a good topic. I think we're getting into something good today.
Yes.
We are talking about achievement culture.
Yeah.
That is actually a term that's borrowed from business. The IO psychologists talk about it a lot, and a lot of westernized businesses mainly, and it's actually kind of promoted, like, get out here and make sure your workers have an achievement culture. But what does that mean when in society?
Yeah.
What is an achievement culture in society? It means that people are pressed to be purely results driven. And achievement culture doesn't value the process or the journey. It doesn't really value the joy, right? It just values the outcomes. Achieve, hit that mark by any means necessary.
Okay. So it can leave people feeling like they are never enough.
Right.
And they're caught in a hamster wheel of achieving but never feeling proud of their achievements or gratified by their accomplishments. So they just never stop and consider, look at all the things I've done. They're now hyper-focused on the next thing.
Right.
Okay, I did that. Now let me start the next thing.
There's next. And we kind of, we do that. As soon as somebody graduates from college or something like that, well, what's next? You get married?
What's next?
You know what I'm saying? At the wedding. You have any kids? At the birth of the child. What's the next one? Lord, can I just, I'm like in labor with this one. There's always a next thing. And I do think it makes people feel like, how can you reach that state of pride and gratification if you never are just like satisfied with where you are?
Yeah.
It's always just climbing to get to the next part. So, the drive to achieve, though, is healthy. Like last week we were talking about pleasure. Pleasure is healthy. We're not anti-pleasure. We're not anti-achievement, right? It's healthy. It's part of our psychological processes. But when it's extreme, when we become obsessed with achievements, it can have negative effects on your mental health. So we are going to talk today. Our deep dive today is how that obsessive need for achievement may be stealing your joy.
Okay. So how do you know you have become a slave to achievement culture? What are the signs that one has fallen into this rut of, like you said, the obsessive achievement?
There's such a thing as being kind of too goal oriented, right? When you just have a relentless pursuit of your goals, often to the exclusion of other priorities in your life. I throw everything, to the side, and I focus on just getting to this point, getting this promotion. I get that one. Now I got to get the next one. Now I get the next one. Now I get the next one, right? That relentless pursuit is a sign that you might be.
I thought for a second
that
you were
rut.
talking to me, and then I thought to myself, but I have a lot of work-life balance. I party really hard too. So yes, I can be obsessive when I'm at the office, but yes.
But you also know how to be like, I'm leaving for today.
This is true.
I'm not sure why you're calling me because I'm off today, remember?
I will do that. No, I will. Oh, I'm not answering that.
Yeah.
Voicemail.
Just keep calling. Oh, I'm sorry. You were calling my phone. That must be a mistake. Because I'm not in today. So
I wasn't the one that you were. Okay.
Did you miss that little memo? I left a memo. My email should have bounced back.
Not even the email. In the ether, you should have felt it.
Your spirit should have told you I was not working today. My spirit told me I wasn't working today.
Yes. So another way, overworking and an inability to say no. Now I got this no thing. This no thing is mine. I have had to work on it. This has been my project over the last few months. The inability to say no, like working long hours and always agreeing to take on new now I am speaking to me. I have been that person historically. My work ethic is crazy. And I see a project and I understand what the goal is. And I'm like, I will just see it through. Come hell or high water, just whatever that needs. And it is okay
to be like, nope. Yeah.
And not excuse it.
Yeah.
No. Well, why? Because no.
Are you coming in tomorrow? No.
That was a complete sentence.
Are you coming this weekend to the whatchamacallit? No, I'm not going to be there. Sounds great though. Have fun.
Yeah.
Right. Neglecting self-care. This is how you know you're in it, right? The funny thing is, it's the first thing that goes. Like self-care and your relationships are like the first thing that go. You sacrifice sleep, good food, exercise. As soon as you're in a bind, let's just order pizza real quick. I'll just stop off at McDonald's. As soon when you look at that schedule and you're like, I have too many things to do, that exercise just disappears. I don't have time for the exercise. Yep. All right. We have time for that, that working toward whatever the goal is, but we don't have time for the things that take care of us. And sometimes not even the time to take care of the people that we, that we love most. We put them down too.
Another thing. Ooh, did you write this for me? Intense fear of failure and perfectionism. Compulsive need to meet unrealistic standards for fear that they won't meet approval. When you're out here outshining everybody else and still worried that you're not enough.
Yep. And it does become compulsive because you're just like, if that thing was, you're up all night for something that was great, but it just could have been greater. I've seen people do. I've watched people iron the back of something. You're going to be in front. Nobody's going to see the back, just in case. Obsessively worrying about details that may not even. That's that perfectionism. All right, the inability to stop and celebrate your success. That is not pride or gratification. That is so anti-pride and gratification. You can't stop.
And will mask it as humility. Oh, no, stop.
Let me I'm going to keep grinding.
There's more to do.
I'm going to keep grinding.
We're not done yet. Listen, we're done with this thing.
I've seen people post, like grind till I die. That sounds terrible. I'd rather have joy until I die.
Please.
Grind till I die.
I'm going to be
I'll
grinding
sleep when I'm
joy.
dead. I'm going to work, and I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Sleep is the cousin of death. What?
Actually, it's my best friend. That's like my twin sister. I don't know what you're talking about. Cousin of death. That's my main man, 50 grand.
50
Come through.
grand.
Come through.
Listen.
Like, girl, what you doing tonight?
You always got a seat at the table.
What you doing tonight? Come on.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Competitiveness.
That constant comparing.
Constantly comparing yourself to others to meet an internal need to best others. No one else is in competition with
Nobody's even in it with you. You are looking at people's social media sites, and you're looking at them at your job, and they are just living their best life, not even thinking about all that, and you are in a race against them.
You are looking at a scoreboard you created in your mind
all night without thinking maybe that path is different than yours. Maybe they have been there longer, and there's a bunch of things. You're going to, in one night, try to match the experience they had in the last 2 years.
And guess what? They sleep. What you should be. And you're the one who's keeping you up.
Yep.
About what you did or did not do.
The worst thing about achievement culture really is that your joy is just impaired, right? Like if we're not careful, achievement culture will have us no longer finding satisfaction in anything because nothing's ever enough.
Yeah.
So whatever happens to us, you got $10,000 more at work. Well, it wasn't 20. You went up to manager. I wasn't executive. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't nothing is. And if we're not careful, we'll breathe that into our children too.
Ooh.
They come home with an A-. Well, what did you miss?
Well, where did those other what was the minus for? Where did those other points go?
Why is it 85? You know what I'm saying? What did you miss? And you're just stuck in the joy out of it.
I remember seeing an interview where Jadena was talking about he had an African father. I want to say Nigerian. And, listen, that's a standard there. There's a standard there. And he said that he would bring home his report card and be like, look, Dad, I got a 98. And his father would be like, where are the other 2 points? I want to know about them 2 points.
I am concentrating on those 2 points. But if you think about it, many of us are doing that. Many of us are working with a 98 in something.
Well, here's the interesting
thing.
We
are concentrating on those 2 points.
As you're talking, I was thinking to myself, well, this sounds so much like last week's episode as we talked about pleasure versus gratification, and that the pleasure is never satisfying. At some point in achievement culture, the things that should satisfy you no longer do. Yep. And it's almost like, it's like drugs, right? It's like after some point, you build up an immunity to these things. Yeah, they don't
it's
do
not even
anything
getting you there anymore.
for you. It's the same thing with achievement culture. If I've made this success my drug, then eventually it does nothing for me. And
even when I get it.
Even when I'm successful. When
I get it. We will end up losing passion for the very activities, the very things we were striving to master.
Absolutely. So how do we recover from achievement obsession?
Move out the United States. I'm just playing.
Get out of the USA. Get out of the USA.
We've seen, and hi, other people. We've seen that, like, people are watching this. There are people in Africa, Netherlands. I don't know where the Netherlands. Hey, Netherlands.
Ghana. Hey, Accra.
Hey, what's up? So, like, everybody watching is not necessarily from the United States. In the United States culture, though, we have achievement culture big.
And it is a shame,
right? And so I think it's good for all of us, certainly, to talk about how to recover from this obsession. One, celebrate the small stuff. Celebrate that little thing I'm talking about small. Take a second and be like, oh, that's good. What you just talking about, that do yourself, that sounded awesome.
We talked about this a couple of weeks back when we said, we talk about losing the weight. And we're so focused on the 50 pounds I got to lose that we don't talk about the 5
right here. Celebrate those things.
The 5 started the journey.
Yeah. You can't get to 50
you can't get to 50 without the 5.
5 is absolutely required for 50. Yep. So recognize and reward yourself for the little things to break yourself out of that.
Little things mean a lot. Appreciate what you got.
Who sings that?
Boys to Men.
Why did I know it? And been like, who sings it?
Because you talk about a deep B-side.
That's a
deep
B-side hit. People right there, like, yeah, they lost me on that one. What is little things?
Baby, that's a B-side.
Because at the age we were when Boys to Men came out, we just played the whole thing. That's why we know B-sides.
Yes,
people don't know. There's no B-sides anymore.
No,
there's hits or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Because remember, we used to just go to Sam Goody Tower, Musicland, and get the whole CD, and so you just listen to the whole thing.
That delayed gratification. We were willing to stand in line.
That was that delayed gratification. Well, what else can we do?
Engage in hobbies and interests that are not about work. This is probably what saves me.
Yep.
Yeah,
when you're not working, you're not working.
I am not working. I am doing the things that absolutely bring me joy. And you know what? I thought about this the other day. I can't remember what made me think of this, but I was thinking about, it's hard for you to, and again, we go back to what our services are, what we provide for people. It's hard to do the things that bring you joy if you don't know, if you've not discovered what are the things that bring you joy. It's why you need a joy plan.
Yeah. Because you've gone so far. People be like, no, I like working. I like money.
You've told yourself. Yep.
Who doesn't like money? The thing is, you work so much, you can't enjoy the money.
Ooh. You bought the big house and ain't never in it.
You don't do anything to relax in it.
Oh, okay.
You have a pool outside. It's never.
You've never laid by it. You've never lounged by it.
You just have it.
Right? There was a reason, there was a purpose that we started on this journey. And we have to understand that the journey's still ongoing. Along the way, we got to stop. We got to slow down. We got to do these things because...
high five ourselves.
Listen, figure out what you're interested in outside. Your job is not your whole thing. You will get to your death and realize you never said to yourself, I wish I had worked more.
I wish I had worked more.
Never.
I posted this a picture that you took that time when Janan was here and Noble. We all went to Chattahoochee Works or something like that. It was me and Zuri, and I posted a picture and because I read a quote from somebody else's page that said, "The only people at the end of your life who will remember that you worked late are your children."
Mm-hmm.
And nobody minding their business who were your coworker. Like, boy, Kanika really worked late. They don't. That's not on the mind of anybody. Your kids remember you working late though.
My daughter, her senior year of school, this was when I was like first starting to get all of those promotions. And so I thought I had to do this work to kind of get ahead. And it was her last year here with me before she was going to college. Every night I was shutting down Panera, 10 o'clock at night, sitting doing work. And I remember her first year at college just being like, I missed that whole year because I was sitting here. So now that she's here home with me, it's time for her to get out again.
No.
But now I'm just like, but she kind of, but she, but please don't start again.
I mean, it was a perfect place for it. It was appropriate.
But now I take every opportunity to. Kanika says she wanted to go to the Music Soul Child concert. I mentioned it to Masai, and she was like, "You know that I love Music Soul Child." And I was like,
That's Auntie's baby. That's Auntie's baby.
I bought a ticket right then and there. I was like, well, then we going to see Music Soul Child. When I say that I was on the grass asleep, but I was go take my child. My child wants to see it. We gonna go. Mm-hmm. You got to find out what are the things that you love outside of this job.
Of that grind.
That job is not everything to you.
Now, this is going to be difficult for lots of people for a couple of different reasons. Some stuff just has to get off your plate. You have to delegate. And I don't just mean, I mean everywhere, right?
That's good.
Right?
Not just work.
Not just work. Ladies, let him do those dishes. He don't do them the way I like.
Whether it's to your standard or not, he will never get to your standard if you don't practice.
Mm-hmm. And he may never get there. but then you resent him because he doesn't do enough because you work all day and then you have to come and do everything at night just because you got to have it your way. I'm talking to myself.
Yep.
I am talking to myself. You ain't gonna do this laundry like I do it. Just go. I'll do it. And I'm just going through. I'll do it. I'll do it. At work, you're not gonna do it the right way. I'll do it. It's not gonna be the same. I'll do it. Either, you know what I'm saying, we are afraid of it failing if we're not the center of it, right? Or we just have some sort of deep need. That's part of the goal. Like, how if I don't lead it, you know what I mean? We assume the pride comes from being all up in the middle of the thing and leading it to its completion.
As a Black woman, this is the song of my people.
When I tell you it's who we are, it's our biggest.
Just
cross
give it to me.
bear.
I'll do it.
I'll just do it.
We'll do it with resentment,
with attitude,
with
and high blood pressure,
with killing ourselves
because we have to delegate.
Because I want it done right. Let me tell you what's right about it. Somebody else doing it so that I could be at peace doing anything else.
So that I can go ahead and exercise. So that I can just do something else.
Good.
Let somebody do it. In fact, that needs to be on. We have a whole to-do list that we do every day. Look on your list, and the first thing is who can do some of this. Where can I get help on this? Not 15 things I have to do. How can I offshoot 6 of them?
What can I give away?
What can I give away off this list? Not. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about literally get it off your list and put it on somebody else's list.
One of the greatest gifts I was ever given, my mentor at work, she sent me to a class to learn how to delegate. At the time, I was offended. At the time, I was, you know what I'm saying? At the time, I was kind of like,
that is a beautiful thing.
What you trying to say? Mm-hmm. Why did you went into the computer system and signed me up for a class and just told me the day before, you have a class tomorrow. Mm-hmm. For
because
what?
You cannot do everything.
It was the greatest thing that I ever learned.
We think things will crumble when we don't do it.
We get nervous about asking other people. Ask them and be done with it.
And in fact, make it clear, make it plain.
In fact, tell them.
I got to get you to do such and such, and you give them the 5 little steps to do it, and you let them do it.
And I'm gonna tell you where she blessed me even more. made me practice this. And then at the end of each opportunity, she would say, now let's debrief. So you learn the lessons from it. What do you need to do differently the next time?
That's
you feel,
real good.
You feel like somebody didn't do it
so
to
you don't
your
delegate
standard.
And critique.
What do you need to then give them on the front end so that they do it to your standard?
What we'll do is they don't do it to the standard, and we just say, that's fine. I knew I should have done it.
You see?
And let me take it back. Instead of being like,
Ooh,
we're
let's
in
not
work
do
in progress.
this.
No, that's still on your plate. That's still off my plate and on yours. There's a growth curve.
That's we talking to ourselves.
There's a learning curve there. Listen, we have really done that. That has freed me. Sometimes I look back on the amount of things I did, and it's funny to me. I don't understand how I did it. I don't understand how were you the one who did this, then that, then got off work and did this,
and
this.
We suffer so badly from this that we will shout ourselves, look at what I did.
The pathology. We just laud the pathology. We do it to one another. Look at her. She's just working 75 jobs and she stays up all night long doing it. We're clapping instead of
get out of here.
Instead of being like,
you're going to kill yourself like this.
We insist you stop doing that. Delegate something today.
Please. Next thing, prioritize and manage your time wisely. Say no when necessary. Establish these clear boundaries. Let me tell you, I have been talking with her for the last couple months about how at work I decided I'm just going to create boundaries. That's it.
And it throws people off.
It does. For a second, though.
When they've been
for
used
a
to
second she's they realize, she's not playing.
There's a fence here.
That's not what she's going to do.
You're not going to keep walking into the wall. There's a wall here. Okay.
And eventually they get to the place where they no longer ask for the thing because they know that you said, no, I won't do it. You don't have to be ugly about it. You don't have to have an attitude about it. In fact, the attitude comes once we've been abused for so long that now we're resentful. Just say the thing and go on the front end. No, that I'm not doing. I'll do this. I won't do that.
I won't do that though.
Recognize when some tasks are not doable. Be honest with yourself about what you can handle. And then put them on the back burner until if it's something you're saying, I can do that later, fine.
And I mean, is it emergency? Like you have that's the time management part. It's the prioritizing. It's I want to get ahead of these things at work. But your son has a baseball game, right? You want to get ahead. That means you're up to speed. Is that what I'm hearing? You're up to speed. Yeah, but I really want to get ahead because then you have to go beyond. I want to have that already done. But that's not like you're going beyond it. Go to your son's baseball game, please.
And say no to whatever else got in the way of that without an apology.
Yep. Now that's another women's song. I'm sorry, I can't. I just have I'm having open heart surgery. Let me see if I can move the surgery. I mean, maybe I can't.
And I would tell you
something. I have
something.
surgery at that day, but I'm not going to be able to do it.
If
But right
you
after my
offer
surgery,
that,
I'm going to be able to do it.
Somebody will take you up on it.
They sure will. What time did your surgery get out?
I am telling you, I've tried it and I know. I've tried it and I know. Something so wild, you will think that somebody is going to at least, consider you. Nope. You offered it. And so they picked it right up. Boop.
Later on, you're talking about they out of pocket. They gonna make me do something.
You out of pocket.
You're the one that didn't draw that boundary. You said that you could do it. They were like, well, okay.
And they believed you.
They got their boundaries in check. They going to their son's basketball game.
Resist the urge to feel guilty. You are enough. Yeah. You've done enough.
Yeah, you've done enough.
You don't have to do anything more to prove who you are.
You don't need a long story around the no.
Choose yourself over work.
That's rough for a lot of us. So set some realistic long-term goals, right? And they should include personal growth. That should not just be, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get tenure, I'm going to get so-and-so, I'm going to get so-and-so. And follow me here because I'm going to go out there, right? The achievements, make sure the achievements you're looking for are aligned with your actual values. A few weeks ago we talked about that, about how bless the old dean. A couple of deans ago, she wanted to send me to a retreat for women in academia who wanted to go into administration, and I almost went because I was like, that just sounds fun to go. These are wonderful women. But I said, you know what? There are so many women here who want to move forward. She was like, you don't have any aspirations? And I thanked her because she really was trying to say, I see leadership in you. I said, thank you. But I recognized that wasn't in line with my values. I don't want to leave the classroom. I am teaching college so that I could teach college kids. I don't want to have any other job other than that. And so, but it can look like, but you're not pressing for the achievement. And, people go ahead and get it. You should try to be a dean. I don't want to be
your achievement.
Right.
I'm okay with my
I've achieved.
Correct.
I've achieved. Every time I go in there and enlighten one of those CAU faces, that's my achievement. That's all that I want.
Because
but
again,
I had
that resentment.
Right.
If she had gone to the conference, yes, she might have gotten something out of it. Yes, she might have met people that then would have, fine. But she also would have been working towards something that, how far would she have gotten into it
with my own
that she would have
goals.
Been like, that ain't what I want to do.
You won't have pride in it if it's not aligned with your true values. So you might, people are telling you should get this, you should get that, and you've acquired some things. That's just acquiring things. There's no pride in the acquiring of just things. They don't have value.
Acquiring. That's good.
They gotta have value.
That's good. All right, another thing. Get help.
Okay, get you a joyologist to help you out and just
listen. If you're somewhere thinking, I don't know where to begin with my joy, call us. Call us. If you actually need to schedule an appointment with one of the joy coaches, 470-471-4898. You need to call the number and you need to schedule you an appointment. Like, figure out what
I want to just know. I want to know how I can live more optimally.
I don't have it.
I know that I'm working my head off at work. That is not doing it for me. That is not making me feel purposeful. I don't have the joy I thought I'd have from it. Let us help you.
A coach, a good squad. Surround yourself with people who will tell you the truth. When even you won't tell yourself the truth. Because
you're saying to yourself, this is me, I'm talking to myself, I just got to get past this point. But then you never really get past the point. You get past that point and the next work emergency just comes. When does it pause? It doesn't.
That's good.
You'd have to pause it. You'd have to build pauses into your schedule.
Yeah.
So this is an important one. Reconceptualize work-life balance as the ultimate achievement. Don't let the achievement be when I make partner. Make the achievement be making partner and making my wife elated with the kind of time we spend together. Making partner and making all of the ballet recitals. Like, put that in your vision. Don't let the other things be side to the, to just the making partner.
Y'all, the work and the accomplishments should be done so that you can have the things that actually bring you joy. This is when I learned this lesson, I was like, that I've been set free. Any rich person will tell you the value in being rich is not the things you can buy. It is the time you can buy back for yourself.
That's what that is.
To be rich, that means that now I can have a butler who can take care of my home. I can have a chef who can cook my meals. I can have this, and that, so that
I can get my time back.
I can get my time back.
But let that be your goal. Don't let your goal just be, I want to be the president of such and such. I want to be the president and I want to sleep 8 hours a night. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to have this and this. You have to make
this money so that we can take 2-week-long trips every year.
Because if you don't do that, your whole concept of achievement is based on something outside of the things that really would gratify you.
But what we're out here doing is, let me work this hard so I can pay rent. What? So I can buy groceries. No, we thinking about this all wrong. Whatever you're doing, if you're working that hard, have it be to produce the life that's going to give back to you.
Yes. Something that you can sustain and that brings joy to you. Even if we're not talking about just the job itself has to bring joy. If that's we would love that for you. But let's say the job itself doesn't bring joy. You are working at that job hard so that your joy quotient can be met.
That's it.
In your private life.
That's it.
If it is not leaving time, if you are not leaving time for your joy activities. The funny thing is that people are like, I have so much to do. And then you look around at other people. I'm like, well, they be on the golf course. Do they have the same job as you? Yeah. Maybe they're not serious about so-and-so. They got the same job as you. What'd you do this weekend? Man, I was catching up on reports I was writing and something. What'd you do this weekend? I went bowling. You know what I'm saying? I saw the new Marvel movie. Did you see it? You had the same job.
They have found
Why are they
things
kicking it?
that have
They have
brought
figured it
them
out.
joy. And you have not.
They
and
have
you are
figured out.
suffering.
They have figured out how to draw
And
some
you
boundaries.
are resentful towards them.
Yep.
As if they're not working hard enough. No,
They're working hard
They
at
are.
work-life balance.
They got the same paycheck you did, but you were here at midnight.
But that's the thing that will bring true pride and gratification. This, if we're, and again, if we really think about it, a lot of what we're working for, we're working in that hubristic pride that we talked about before. Because we're just trying to kind of show off.
Back.
We want people to know that we were there all night. You know what I'm saying? And that just we're lauding the pathology.
I want you to see me in the luxury car.
I
want you to see me with the luxury items.
And I haven't slept in 2 years, so that I could.
Your children a mess.
Right.
Your marriage is crumbling.
But you proud of this car.
What? Health falling apart.
The kids scolded. Oh, we didn't know he had a daddy. We didn't know that. Hey. You had like 5 kids and they've been going to this school this whole time.
One thing I can say I'm very proud of when we were this past week we went to memorialize my father. And we're listening to all these stories, all these great stories of, what he did for the people. I'm talking about other countries. He was in, El Salvador. Meaningful. He was this man, he earned the nickname Galloping Gus because he was the mayor of one city, but would be all over the world. But I'm going to tell you what that man did. Showed up for me every time it was. My daddy would call me and be like, where you at? I would live in a whole different state. Where you at? Text me the address. And he would show up. I'm telling you. I don't know how he did it. He would be on his way to a meeting. He would be like, have my baby packed. What baby? Masai, have her. What are you going to do? Masai was 3 years old. My father came and got her for 2 weeks. What are you going to do with her? We'll figure it out on the road. He took her to every meeting he had. He said, I'm going to do this work, but I'm going to have my baby with me. He understood what mattered. Y'all, we got to figure out what is it that brings you joy. At the end of the day, what makes your heart soar? Make time for that. Dedicate yourself to that.
Consider that an achievement.
That is the achievement.
Consider that
when you leave this earth, what are people going to say about you?
What are you going to say?
That you completed these reports?
You're not going to be on there. Right. Talking about those reports.
We got to do better. We got to do better. All right. So we are going to finish this episode as we have been doing this season with
proud moments.
Yes. Okay. So the first proud moment.
Ronnie says, I am proud of me having the courage to uproot my life and leave my comfort zone and move to Atlanta 15 months ago. Now, this brother lived in Chicago up till he went to Morehouse College, went to Morehouse College for 4 years, went right back to Chicago and lived. He literally went back as an adult and lived like within a mile from where he grew up. So I think that's something to be proud of. He was very bold in being like,
Yeah.
I'm just step out on faith. I'm gonna do a different job. He worked at the same job that whole time. I'm just gonna see what life brings me.
Wow. Wow. AJ said, I am proud of the fact that I am getting better at creating healthy boundaries in my life and that my therapist echoes that sentiment in therapy just an hour ago.
Oh,
So that's something for,
black men in therapy.
Black men in therapy, y'all. It's
That
sexy.
is so cute. I mean,
it's
just
that 401k
listen, and you have a
therapy.
therapist?
Listen, I'm talking about just whatever you want me to give you. I'm gonna give it to you. Sugar.
If you ask me to go with you, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna mark the little box. Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm marking the box. Yes.
I'm gonna, I listen. A man come up to me telling me he got a 401k and goes to therapy. I might tattoo your name across my neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's totally earned that.
Oh God.
What?
Oh God.
He's totally what? I'm making plates. I'm doing whatever other people be talking about out here. I'm doing all the
You be so
things.
full every night.
Be full. Sit down, baby. I got you. You want me to get no? Got your plate.
Don't worry about your 401k.
Okay.
I'm gonna worry about everything
and just
else.
lean back and think about what your UNO therapist was talking about. Do you want a drink? I know you like a gimlet. I'm been there just making lean, yo. What? They're washing feet.
And then finally, I hate you. Finally, we have Jimmy. He said that this is something to really be proud of because this means that you've put in some effort.
Yes.
And you can see the manifestation of it. And shout out to Jimmy for knowing this. He said, I have the most caring and amazing 2-year-old in the world.
Oh,
that's what really matters. At the end of the day, don't you want to look back and say, it's the children that are leaving your legacy, not your name and lights.
He's a good example of that. You know, he's works in corporations. He teaches at Clark Atlanta,
and he's successful.
And he has a date with this tiny little person, and he takes her to such nice places. Well, we're going to 2 Urban Licks. Well, she doesn't eat solid food yet. He was like, I want her to get used to. He's trying to
expose her to a particular experience because if her daddy did it, then the men in her life will have to do it as well. He said, no.
She's going to get used to. She's not going to be out there like, I'm looking for a man.
And in every conversation that I have with this man, he brings up his daughter. That's it. That's it.
And he's extremely intentional. You know what I'm saying? And he works a lot. You know, he has a great job and does very well and has achieved millions of things. But he also is extremely intentional. What time Saturday? I'm not going to do that Saturday because me and my daughter have a date every single week. Balance it, y'all. Y'all. Achievement culture has drawn us to be. I mean, we're just, you know.
Yeah.
We're out
there. We're
going
to be all right. We're going to find our joy.
We're going to be all right.
We
gonna be all right. Joy.
No, we're not gonna be like that about joy. Listen, we're not gonna be like, I got joy.
No, we're gonna step boldly. We're gonna step boldly into joy.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do.
Amen.
No good sense.
What kind of dance should I do?